I want to talk about Dragon Age for just a moment because there's one thing that I completely disagree with that people are complaining about. There's one thing that I completely agree with that people are complaining about. And then there's one that I find kind of meh that people are complaining about. So let's get the meh out of the way. I didn't really understand all the complaining that people had about the character creation because it looks good. It looks great. I love the hair physics too. I've watched a few people create their characters, and it's not the greatest character creator in the world, but it's nothing to just throw to the side. It looks good. It operates well. I don't understand the complaining. That's just kind of meh. The rest of the complaining that I feel meh about is the combat. I've watched a lot of it. It seems fine, you know. I know there's other classes that scale a lot better than other ones. I think it was Rogue that scales pretty evenly, so like it's a safe pick. Warrior just feels kind of bland. A lot of people were saying as you progress later through the game, when you get to like 10, 15 hours. And the most fun seems to be, magic, obviously. The last part for the mass section is the graphics. Honestly, it doesn't look terrible. And anyone will tell you that no matter like how bad the graphics are for a video game, as long as it's a good video game and people enjoy it, the graphics don't matter. The graphics, honestly, usually for the most part, end up on the bottom of the list. If it's got a good operating system, a good UI, whatever, blah blah blah, the graphics can honestly go in the trash. That's why a lot of people liked Undertale. This next bit has to do with something that I completely disagree with, and I don't know why people are losing their minds over it.
An age game, right? You can have top surgery scars turned on. I cannot imagine anything more intellectually devoid and creatively bankrupt than this. This is a fantasy world, and the only way to remove a person's breasts are the exact same way that we have in real life. This is crazy. Absolutely fucking insane. Why the fuck would you need top surgery scars in a game that has fucking magic?
I don't understand the weird, strange hate for letting people put scars, top surgery scars, on their character. It's optional. You don't have to have it. It doesn't affect your gameplay in any way, and if you're wearing armor or clothes all the time, you're never going to see it. It's optional. It's as optional as putting pickles on your sandwich. You don't have to put it on there. If your argument to try to justify your hateful side towards trans people or inclusivity when it comes to the top surgery scars is that why do you need to have surgery that we use today in a fantasy game that has magic in it with shapeshifting? Why does that matter? It is a fantasy game. You're right about that. It's a fantasy game. Also, D&D, it's a game with shape-shifting magic, but you can still have operations. You can still have surgeries. Why is that such a big problem? You can have both. You don't have to just solve all of your issues with magic. What if you have non-magic users that have scars? They need surgery, don't know any other magic users. This world wasn't built by you. It's not your fantasy world, it's one you get to play in. So I do believe that anyone who's complaining about this is either anti-trans, they just hate left altogether, Democrat Party, blah blah blah. I've ran into a few people like that on Twitter. Their arguments are completely just disingenuous and moot. Like it's just hate. Like that's just coming from a place of hate. It is optional. You don't have to apply it to your character. It in Cyberpunk 2077, you could literally be a woman with a penis, with a full-on dick. I don't understand why this is an issue. I don't get it. Now, the last part I completely agree with people complaining about because I've seen it over and over again, and I've watched some play. It's so cringy and clunky, and it feels forced, and it makes the atmosphere weird.
Oops, sorry, and hope that fixes it. But they just want to get the whole thing over with. But pulling a bath, you sweat a little. Makes you think about it a little more. Shows the other person you mean it.
What if they mean it when they say they're sorry, though?
And that's the other reason. Some people mess up and get all dramatic. They make it about them. Oh, I didn't mean it right. I'd never do that on purpose. They feel so bad about it that it's on everyone else to smooth it over and make them feel better.
Oh, okay.
This doesn't feel like a character that's supposed to be dragging you into the story to make you feel like you're part of this game's world. It feels forced, it feels clunky, it feels cringy. It feels like a writer is taking their own personal issues and throwing it at people and is taking this opportunity to talk at you, talk down to you, be patronizing. This isn't the only example. There's a lot of weird, clunky, cringy like dialogue in this game. Um, I think if they went about it a more subtle way to have those kinds of healthy messages, it would have been significantly better. I haven't played the game personally, but through watching multiple people play it, I'd give it like a 6, a 7. Again, the people complaining about the combat, it's you know. The graphics, again, graphics for me don't really matter as long as the gameplay is good. But and then the top scar surgery thing, I just, if you're complaining about that, you self-reflect. Something's wrong with you. It's optional. You don't have to do it. It's silly that you're sitting here complaining about it. But it's mostly the dialogue for me. It's the dialogue that really makes things rough. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to convince you to buy the game or don't buy the game. I just wanted to speak on a few things that I was thinking about because it's been popping up on my feed a lot. But if you want to take a chance and purchase the game, by all means do it.